Hello and welcome to this next episode in the video series. We're checking out some missions to the DungeonCrawler Game Jam of 2024. And this time we will have a look at Cyclopean by Schmidt Workshops. And if that name sounds familiar, you might have played Islands of the Caliph, which was created by this developer. And he is also turning this Cyclopean into a full Steam release, and you can already wishlist it here on Steam. I just need to start and stop that again so that it doesn't randomly start while I'm recording. So the developer did not yet announce the price or what will be different to the Jam version. There are a couple of ideas on the Discord server on dungeoncrawlers.org, where the developer is also active. So if you want to stay in the loop, you can wishlist the game here on Steam. And you can also join the Discord server on dungeoncrawlers.org, which is not game specific here. It's just basically the Discord server of the hosting page here. So yeah, we will look into this game today. Let's have a look at the theme incorporation. This is a retro cosmic Lovecraftian horror inspired dungeon crawler that takes place in the dreamlands mentioned in the work of H.P. Lovecraft. The location is the Walls of Zin, referenced in the dream quest of unknown Kadath, which is inhabited by ghouls, ghasts, gags, and other more horrible creatures. The story is kind of short fan fiction about the main character, Red of Kalpa, and the rift that formed between the cats and the zooks. I am not familiar with that at all. So, let's get to the game page, and that's quite a bit to read. So, and I think we need to read this like this part, then the bottom part, and then up. So let's see. Cyclopean is an old school dungeon crawler with cosmic horror elements that takes place in the legendary Walls of Zin, referenced in H.P. Lovecraft's story The Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath. It's being made for DungeonCrawler Jam. Yeah, before I forget, you can learn more about the game's ambient music provided by the lovely and talented Immorpha on his Bandcamp page here. Alright, you will already hear that in the background. So I recorded that, or I already recorded that and will edit this together. Unfortunately, and this is also something I think might be very important for the developer. This might have been the most problematic to record. I still need to play around with the window resolution, but basically when you tap out of the game, you cannot move your mouse. The mouse is still locked to that game size. So if I start the game in the standard size, which is, I don't know, 720p or something, it's in the middle of the screen, maybe it's even less. And then I'm tapping out and I have my Windows background. I can only move the mouse within that window. I cannot move anywhere else. That also means that the standard OBS game capture does not work. That also means that I cannot adjust the sound of the game, the volume, and I will need to do that retroactively in some editing tools, so it might be a bit loud and I might need to scream. I'm not needing to scream, but I might scream because I can't hear myself. So it's I don't want to fiddle around with my whole system volume, and I cannot reduce the game volume. In Windows, and the game doesn't have options. Yeah, I started the game up and there's no options for that. So yeah, that's a bit problematic. It should not capture the mouse within that thing. In that case, that makes it a nightmare for for streamers, and I also was not able to move around the window in OBS because I can't capture the window, set the window, and move it at the same time in OBS, because then I need to close the game and then I cannot put the window, so I needed to add a dummy window, move that, and then a nightmare. So just so that you know for the future, or if you intend to do something similar. Alright, so let's get through the notes here. Version 1. So we are playing this this last version here from the 13th, but apparently, I mean, it's building on top of this other stuff. The version 001 was completed in 1 workday. It does include some assets and code scrapped from my own previous projects. Use WSD to navigate, walking into things to attack and pick up open. Spacebar to wait a turn. You can also use the arrows and wait button at the lower right corner. Find the exit of the walls of Zin to win. Rescue cats and find gold to increase your score. If your health goes below 0, you will lose. Below 0 or to 0. You can adjust the window resolution by with F10. I need to test that. Maybe I can also put that on full screen, and then maybe OBS can also capture it in full screen. I only try to do that in the window. Whatever you do, don't press F11. I will try that anyways. No idea what's supposed to do or what not. Much of the game menu is non-functional right now. There is no saving or loading, but game reports are now stored and can be reviewed later. Features easy controls, scary monsters, and 3D. 3 different meows. Wow. Alright, so then we have the update. Version 002 was completed in the 2nd workday. It shows player and monster sets and includes 1 new monster, the Old One. Good luck fighting him. It also introduces experience points and levels which can increase your life and skill stats. There are also 2 possible upgrades, the sword upgrade and the armor upgrade. The sword increases your damage and the armor increases your defense. Version 002 also introduces the treasure chest and gold. They don't do much yet, but gold will add to your score, which leads me to the final new feature. The game will give you a report at the end and let you know how you scored. Things like monsters killed, gold collected, etc. And on the main screen you can view up to 10 previous reports to relive those tender moments in Cyclopean. Alright, and then the last one. Version 003A was completed on the 3rd day, so apparently the developer here only used 3 of the 9 days, so that's, I mean, yes, he used some previous work, but that's still impressive. This one adds a lot, so I mean, I didn't look into the game, but I guess it will be impressive. This one adds a lot of new features. First, there is a new story and slightly new setting. When you start the game, you will be given a short introduction to your character and the situation. The game now generates a randomized tile-based dungeon to explore. It should offer a slightly different experience each playthrough. There's a lot of random number generation involved in how things happen so some playthroughs may not be as balanced as others. New monsters were added, and a new ally in the adventure awaits your rescue. Added 2 new gameplay features. First, there is a mouse button panel on the lower right side of the HUD, so you can play entirely with the mouse. Second, there is a map on the lower left side, so it should help you to keep your bearings somewhat in the twisting catacombs in the walls of Zin, where the story takes place. I believe this Game Jam entry is finished, but let me know what you think and if you find any bugs. I was able to fix quite a few bugs today as well, but there's no guarantee that others will not appear. I hope you enjoy Cyclopean. Alright, so we need to keep in mind F10 is a resolution adjustment. I will just try around with that before I start the recording here. And spacebar is wait a turn and just walking into things. I think we can do that. So that's the introduction here. And now I will try to get the thing running and try out the resolutions and try F11. 1 second. And here we are in the game. So I tried the F10 button and I can show you it just decreasing the resolution, so it does not really help or making it full screen or anything like that. So I need to use these workarounds. As I mentioned, I used a dummy file to adjust the position, or a dummy recording, a dummy window to adjust the position of the window, because I cannot switch over to OBS because the cursor is captured within that thing, even if I minimize it. So I also cannot adjust the volume. So keep that in mind, that when I'm talking a little bit too loud, that's because it's quite loud for me, which I will reduce back in editing so that it's not too loud for you, hopefully. Alright, so, I mean, we don't have any options button here, that's not available, and that's not available either. I also tried 11, that puts the game into full screen, but it creates some bug and some text is showing up from the intro. So, let's just start the game. I did just quickly jump into the game and moved a couple of steps, so just so you know. You are the dreamer, Randolph Carter. You are in a deep slumber, unable to wake due to the strange herbs you consumed prior to going to bed. You wanted to stay in the dreamlands long enough to ascertain what happened to the cats. However, your worst fears were confirmed when the Zooks convinced you to drink from a ruby bottle and you returned to awareness trapped. Deep in the Cyclopean depths of the walls of Zin, the Zoks have imprisoned you as well as a number of your allies, the cats. The Zooks have somehow formed an alliance with the Ghasts and even the Titanic Gooks who dwell here. I have no idea about any of those, so just you are aware of that. What they are planning for you, other cats, is so ghastly that it's better to not even write of it. Rescue your friends, the cats, and find the exit from these hideous Cyclopean walls so you may once again breathe the fresh New England air of your childhood home of Boston. Tap to close. Alright. Blocked. Alright, so we are attacked. So turning is also an action. So I can move forward into the enemy to attack. And the nice thing is that it gives a lot of information there. So enemy's armor absorbed 11% of the damage. You attack 3 damage, delivered 20 health remaining. The gas attacks, 94 health remaining. We have our health in over here. It's a bit weird that the lock is on the top. So on the very top, it's the newest entry, and then it's going older and older, and not the other way. Your armor absorbed, okay. Okay, enemy is dead. Alright. So, the perspective, I think, is fine. You can see the walls left and right. You cannot see the floor, but if there's nothing really important on the floor, that should be fine. The tiles seem a bit longer than they are wide. So there might be a slight adjustment, which would be bringing it to a more familiar size maybe, but I think it's fine as it is. The movement is problematic because it's actually moving on button up. I have no idea why. I mean, I played, I think, a demo version or something of the Isles of the Caliph, and I can't remember it was there as well. But it makes no sense to have movement on button up. So I do not move when I press forward. I'm now pressing forward, and I need to release that in order to move. So pressing, relieving, and the same with turning. I'm turning right and I'm relieving the button. Turning right. Yeah. And that makes the whole movement feel a bit sluggish. That also means that you cannot queue up commands. So I move forward, I turn right, it's just cutting out the right. But it's also a bit weird because I can move forward. And once I'm on the tile and the animation is still coming to an end, I can already turn around. So it's really weird. It might play fine if you're playing with a controller. I never used a controller and I will never use a controller on my PC here. But with keyboard, the input is definitely less than optimal. Alright, so I mean this would probably be a very easy fix, like movement on button down and that's it. Because the good thing here is that you can turn around before you can see how much smoothing is going on, right? I move forward, smooth, and stop. And then move forward, and now I turn. I don't need to have the full smooth out on the next tile, and I'm already able to turn. So there is some compromise already, but it needs to be on button down, not on button up. And I think then this might already feel quite well. I don't know what this thing on the bottom left is supposed to mean. Let's just ignore that for now. We have 12 cats and we have 0 rescued. We have 22 monsters and 1 victory. And we can, of course, also play with this. Yeah, on mouse controls it makes sense, right? You expect, if you click that, you expect the action to happen if you release the button. But with keyboard controls, that's not the case. Now I'm interested, maybe the older version of the game actually did not work that way. Oh, you can see on the... So this is a mini-map. Move west. Ah, so these are little rooms here. Interesting. Oh, there's a Zook. You gained a level, 6 life, 5 skill. Skill 55. Okay. I think we just need to... Okay, this is empty. There's a cat! There's a cat! Awesome. You rescued... Oh, okay, these are stacked cats. We already rescued 3 cats. Descent stairs? No, I want to go to the north first. Okay, this is empty. So, I think it was mentioned that it was procedurally generated. And I guess that it's putting these blocks together to a dungeon. And these then assure that there is an in and out to every section. Because every section is then connected to the neighboring sections, I guess. Yeah, we wait. Of course, there's not much tactics involved or anything like that. We just need to... Maybe we have the option of running away. And then we can maybe flee to a different area. It's actually an interesting idea with the minimap to only show like a rough section, because it helps with orientation, but it also kind of requires a certain structure for the... Oh, it's not coming. It requires a certain structure of the level. Okay, and we gained another level. And we found another bunch of cats. Alright. Okay, this is now a gust. Uh-huh. Alright, now let's check what we get in this chest. You found 30 gold coins. I think that's just the score, right? It's nice to also have these stairs, so you have the height difference. I think there is a sword over there. But we can't get... Ah, we can climb the stairs from the other side. Maybe we get a better item, a better weapon, but how would that work? We don't have any attack value, I think. With damage. Okay, so it increased the damage from 5 to 9. Okay. Nice. I think it was showing me that it's attacking from the right, so I should pay attention to that. Also, what I noticed after reading the page and also after playing the game, and which you probably notice after watching this video, is when you focus on this screen and really look into the green all the time, and then look at something white, the white stuff will appear as kind of violet. So, because the eyes are adjusting to the green color. So this... I'm not familiar or too familiar with like the very old PC graphics standards here. Okay, we gained the level again. 6 gold coins. So, in the 80s, I used the Commodore 64. Oh, there's another one. And a better shield. And so we need 2 more cats. So I used the Commodore 64 in the 80s and... No, actually I used nothing in the 80s because I only got it in the, well, 90s I guess. And then a few years later I switched to the PC. So when I got the PC, I already had VGA. And I am familiar with some games with EGA graphics. But I don't think that I ever had to use anything on CGA, but this is not CGA. I think this is... Oh, okay, we didn't know that there's... We are missing 2 cats! I think this is Hercules graphics. Which are then showing just in green and black. The total score... Alright. And now it released my key, my cursor. Now I can close the game. Well, that's nice. Ah no, there's also an X, but I can't click on that anymore. Oh, okay. Okay, I just restarted the game. And the thing is that in the game I cannot press escape to get out of the window with my key. It only worked in the last screen. Very weird. Let's start a new game and try to find all of the cats and maybe see what's different now. So the first room seems to be always the same. Yeah, so as I was saying, I never really had to use PC old graphics modes like Hercules. So I can't really tell if that's what it would have looked like. What I know is that we are dead now. No, we are not. We are still alive. And we got a new weapon. Nice. Alright. Okay, let's go to the north. Nothing here. Let's leave the north. Level up. I think that's also the same structure as before. So maybe the design is always the same and just the loot is placed differently. No enemies here, but the cat. Empty chests. This is a dead end, okay. Uh-huh. Okay, let's go to the south then. We rescued 6 of the 13 cats already. Yeah, with our mighty sword, the enemies are just... they don't have any chances. Alright. Die! This one is a bit stronger though. But level up. More cats! Alright. We got 7 now. That was the wrong direction. I need to go into... Wow. We need to go into the east here. Okay, this is not connected further to the east. Let's get our treasure. Nothing there. Huh. Okay, this would be the exit. So we should not go there yet if we want to rescue all the kittens. Bumped into the chest. Another one? Is anything upstairs? Nope. Maybe on the other side. Now we are in the center. Let's step back. I don't want to be attacked by two on the same time. Okay, so the center is not connected to any but the southern tile. Alright. There's a sword. Blum. Another chest. All right. We're running out of hit points. We need another level up. But I somehow doubt that we will make it. This is an easy opponent at least. This is not. And we are dead. Torn apart by a gust, you were. Alright, so we... Well, actually we didn't rescue any cats if they all die with us. But, alright. Your total score, 2,479. So I will not give it another attempt. But what I will do is I will just start an earlier version now and see if this movement was also borked back there. 1 second. Alright, so here we are in 002. Let's start a new game. And it's the same thing. Yeah, so in terms of perspective and movement, it's exactly the same. So yeah. I think the graphics are fine. The atmosphere, the sound environment is fine. There are some nice sound steps for moving, for attacking, and everything. It's unfortunate that I cannot adjust the volume of the thing. I think I can do that if I die and then I click escape, then I can move away the mouse and then while the game is still running, and that would allow me to adjust the volume. And just a little insertion here, I started again the latest version of the game and I found something weird. So I will close that game again. I will restart the game now. And now if I press escape, I can't free the mouse. If I start a new game, then I go to the main screen and then I hit escape again. Now I got the cursor and the cursor can be moved outside of the window. In order to, let me click on OBS for example. You will hear that the game is now muted. Now I'm clicking back into the game, and when the game is active, I still can't click on anything. Now I need to click escape again, and that way the cursor is back into the game. So obviously that's also not really anything which is optimal or standard, but if you play the Jam version, that's the way how you can do it. Regarding the perspective, as I mentioned, it's fine. I would prefer to see something on the floor I'm standing on, but I think it's fine because you're not interacting with anything on the floor anyways. You see the walls left and right, and it feels like the distances and so on, they feel fine. The movement, however, not a fan. There's no good reason to have a button up movement and not a button down movement. This always feels sluggish, and I think the movement could be so much better if it was on button press instead of button up. As mentioned, maybe on controller it feels better, but with keyboard it doesn't feel great. It is relatively smooth, and usually other games have the problem with the... Well, this game also doesn't queue up the commands. However, it allows the turn already before the smooth out is finished, which can make that a bit better. But yeah, these are the things I would most like to change, besides of the technical thing with the mouse being captured, is that the movement is on button down instead of button up, and it should queue up commands, and I think then this would be more enjoyable. But even as it is, I think it's a nice little game. I don't know how much, I think like you play it for 10 minutes or so, and then you will either have finished the game or you will have died. So in regards of content, I think it's fine. As I mentioned before, I think for 3 days, even if you already have an engine, I think it's quite impressive to have that type of game here. And yeah, if you want to check it out, Cyclopean, you can find a link down in the video description to the itch.io page. And you can of course also go to Steam and search for the game and wishlist it. As I mentioned, it's not yet clear how the game will be expanded for the commercial game or how much it will cost. So if you're interested in finding out more about that, you can also check out the Discord of DungeonCrawlers.org. And I guess the updates will also be posted on the Steam page or on the forums there, so make sure to check these out. And with that, yeah, that has been Cyclopean by Schmidt Workshop. And yeah, thanks to Schmidt Workshop, MKSchmidt, for contributing this game to the Game Jam. And even as a 3D entry, not using the full time, it's the more impressive to have this entry. And thanks to all of you for watching this episode. And with that, I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.